The penultimate piece in this Java suite is called The Ruined Water Castle at Djokja. And it very much like the title suggests, it belongs to this category of water music. Now there are many different ways of representing water in music, if only because there are many different sort of water. It can be the sea, it can be the ocean, it can be a waterfall, it can be a stream, it can be calm, it can be agitated. So the possibilities are rather endless. And it does happen that the piano as an instrument is in fact spectacularly good at doing water on its various forms, as French composers certainly have found out in the 20th century, and before him Liszt and to some extent even Chopin. So this is one of a long tradition in some ways, and it does borrow to its predecessors. And in particular, I do feel that Godowsky, when he was writing this piece, was certainly aware of Ravel's Jeux d'eau, which have been composed a few decades before. It's not exactly the same music, but there are some unmistakable signs that that's what he was referring to. The beginning is... So when it begins, you sort of think, oh wow, that's another diatonic, pentatonic sort of music with all this force, that sound world that has become a sort of a hallmark of the Java suite. And that's interesting because yes, that theme is built entirely on this scale. But at some point, quite rapidly, there is a shift, and then the music becomes incredibly chromatic. The most chromatic it has been in the cycle, bar the Garden of Djokja, and maybe even it tops it up. So we arrive, and then shift. So from that moment onward, pretty much everything is absolutely oozing chromaticism in pure Godowsky style. As you've seen the impression overall, and that's how it's so successful as a water piece, the impression is of immense fluidity. It scintillates, and at the same time it really flows, as you can imagine, streams around a decaying castle. So in that way, it's a very well done piece. I don't want to talk too long about it, but there is one feature that is interesting because it's inbuilt in the piece, and it's good to be aware of it. All the themes converge towards the third beat of the bar. So if you look at the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then later on you have so it always goes there and then goes back and then goes. So it has this wave-like feeling that is so well done. Like all these very chromatic pieces, it cannot help reminding me of the work of Frederick Delius. And I know he's not very well-known composer, certainly not outside of England, so it may not mean much to you. But I will put a piece by his in the description box so that you can see. And again, it's this piece is a companion piece from the Garden of Djokja. It's similar in feeling. Again, it's this perpetual sense that the world is shifting under your feet, and that however hard you try to hang on to something, it's no good really. It very much does that, and there is a great sense of nostalgia that comes from it, which is particularly present in the coda, a sense of not wanting to really finish. It feels like the piece goes on because it cannot abandon its life. It's somebody who is really struggling to say goodbye in some ways, and then we have this absolutely beautiful, magical. And it's, by the way, in a moment like that where it's very difficult not to think of Ravel. So anyway, I won't say any more, but it's one of those well worth knowing pieces in the cycle.
Thank you.